Ladies and gentlemen, the future of ttrpgs is already here, and it has a lot of breasts. We have to talk about AI, and ttrpg AI slop is a great place to start because it's already a thing. Sites like DriveThruRPG are increasingly seeing AI-generated content for sale. These online spaces have historically been the place where indie publishers found their footing. In fact, quite a few designers who went on to work at Paizo, Wizards of the Coast, Kobold Press, MCDM, and Darrington Press got started on sites like DriveThruRPG and the DM's Guild. But the new type of content we're increasingly seeing on these sites looks like this. AI art of a buxom woman with a tiny waist wearing very little clothing and a title called something like The Ashen Heavens or The Star-Torn Pathway. Using sexuality to sell crap is nothing new, but this kind of AI slop does take it to the next level. I don't think you're a pearl-clutching lunatic if you look at the endless waves of these ridiculously proportioned AI women and think it is, a bit much. I can only assume the intent is for the consumer to be browsing, see this, the blood rushes from their brain to other areas of their body, they pass out, slam their head on the keyboard, and accidentally hit the buy it now button. These PDFs are fascinating in a way you can't look away from, like a car crash on the motorway. They're typically about 6 to 8 pages long for a obviously AI written adventure. I mean, I can't prove that all of these PDFs are written by AI, but it certainly feels like it. It's very ChatGPT coded. But the biggest clue, aside from the weird writing, is the sheer volume. The examples I'm showing here come from an author who's uploaded 886 PDFs in the last 5 years. At the time of recording, this author uploaded 3 PDFs today, only 1 yesterday, pretty unproductive day yesterday, honestly, and then 3 the day before that. So yeah, I'm confident that at least most of this stuff is AI written. Now I know, objectively, all of this is funny. The fact there are nearly 1,000 of these PDFs from a single author that are all sold off the back of sexualized AI renderings of women is so just trashy that it is hard not to find it hilarious. Also, just so you'll know, there are boobs online for free. You don't need to go on the ttrpg websites and be tricked into buying stuff by boobs. You can see them for free online. And this author isn't alone in doing this. There are a bunch like it. The intent here is clearly to flood any platform that can hold them with their AI-generated content in the hope that some of it slips through into someone's basket. Yeah, maybe someone's scrolling through the website, maybe they click on one of these when they're buying a bunch of different things, and boom, this guy just earned $2. Personally, I am comfortable calling content like this a scam. This is material generated by an LLM AI like ChatGPT. If you want a generic adventure with random NPC lore and a bog standard quest, you can plug any AI in to do that for you. It won't be good, it won't be 1/10 as fun to run as an adventure that you've made yourself, but you can get that if you want it for free. And if you just want to see boobs, hell, I'm sure AI can generate those for you as well. Or maybe you can go to a close friend who has boobs of their own and ask them to share. I don't know.
Oh, hey DM, Silence! I'm busy constructing a Legend of Zelda D&D campaign, and this time, twinkish elves in women's clothing are going to be far more essential to the narrative.
Wow, that's odd.
Hey, don't shame me. This is my world. I can do what I want.
No, I mean, it's odd that you're wasting your time building a Legend of Zelda D&D campaign when Obojima already exists.
Obojima?
Obojima, Tales from Yatamon is out now on Kickstarter. A campaign setting inspired by Studio Ghibli and the Legend of Zelda series, the Tales of Yatamon includes a new book, a board game, and a printed version of the original best-selling Obojima D&D expansion for the 2024 rules. New subclasses, species, spells, monsters, backgrounds, feats, and more. The board game, Yanari the Witch's Market, is an exciting and easy-to-learn game set in the city of Yatamon. For 2 to 4 players, that takes just 10 minutes to learn. And if you back the Kickstarter within the first 72 hours, you get a free resin miniature of the Mossling character. Check out Obojima Tales from Yatamon, link in description. The interesting part though is that as a scam, this one is weirdly bad. For example, each of these PDFs is sold for money, but they also have a preview option. And if you click that preview option, you can see the entire PDF minus the last page. So even if you wanted this stuff, there's no reason to buy it. You can see 95% of it completely for free. I think it might be possible that the entire process behind this account, from the writing to the art to the layout and even the uploading, is done entirely without human input. Anyway, AI slop, it's already here, and I wanted to share it with you because it's worth laughing about and it's worth being aware that these type of products already exist. I also wanted to laugh about it with you because I am starting to fear that the days where we can laugh about this type of content are running short. The reason is simple. AI replacing human artists and writers is already a huge problem for board games on Kickstarter, and ttrpgs are usually never more than 1 to 2 years behind traditional tabletop games. Terraforming Mars is a board game that used AI art despite making over $2 million on Kickstarter. Now, the people behind this product could so easily hire human artists and writers, but they don't, simply because they don't want to pay them. They have a couple of artists that go over the AI generated slop and touch it up where it's obviously terrible, but that's it. And those artists will absolutely be fired the second AI art gets to the level where they're not needed anymore. To companies like this, illustrators aren't people that you collaborate with to create a shared artistic work. Instead, illustrators are just an annoying thing you have to pay for to decorate your product. And as soon as you can do without them, obviously you will. And people always say to me, don't worry about it, man. These projects won't succeed. People care about supporting humans. Well, do they? Terraforming Mars made over $2 million. But okay, at least we can tell when something is AI generated, right? When Bigby's Glory of the Giants released with AI art inside it, people knew immediately. Obviously, Wizards of the Coast retracted that piece immediately and apologized, and as far as we know, there's not been any AI art in a Wizards of the Coast book since. Good for them. But here's the thing, give it 3 years, and I don't think even other artists will be able to tell when art is AI generated. At that point, the financial incentive for big companies is to use it, because if no one can tell, there will be no backlash, and it's cheaper than hiring real human beings. Okay, so let's pause for a second, because I want to ask a serious question. If a product is made by AI, and the AI is so good that nobody can tell the difference, does it matter? Well, firstly, I actually don't believe AI is capable of writing meaningful content. As much as we're talking about how quickly it's evolving, I think we're a long way from that. The best games mean something. Ryoko's Guide, the book that I helped create, is basically wall-to-wall environmentalist propaganda. Even if you don't engage with the themes when you play, they are there, and they give everything weight and shape, and it brings everything together as a powerful artifact of human belief and creativity. AI can't do that, but also there are plenty of games released that are completely vacuous and meaningless, and they still sell. Big companies don't care about making good games, they care about making profit. There's tons of AI slop games on Steam, and they still sell, but the real reason I think, yes, it does matter if a game is written and illustrated by AI is that the human beings who are replaced by that AI are not going to be cared for. John Maynard Keynes, the father of modern capitalism, predicted that everyone would be working 15-hour weeks by now, and obviously, we're not. That is because, despite the fact that normal, hardworking people are infinitely more efficient and generate way more money and resources per hour of work than humans have ever done in the past, none of those benefits return to us. The rich are richer now than at any point in human history, but normal, middle, and working class people are about the same or slightly worse off in terms of standards of living than their parents' generation before them. The artists and writers who are replaced by AI will be just the same. They will not be taken care of, they will be thrown away. Products won't be cheaper for us, they will just line the pockets of the people who are already wealthy. Terraforming Mars is not cheaper as a board game than other competitors because they saved money using AI, it just made more money for the people who were already rich. Because I care about human beings, I want to support them. I don't want to support people like this guy who just plugs titties into ChatGPT. Now, I'm not saying that every company is going to do this. Darrington Press, Loot Tavern, Chaosium, Paizo, these companies are privately held. They're not public companies, so if they're owned by someone who doesn't want to engage with AI, they won't, and that's great. But publicly traded companies have one goal: earn money for shareholders. Every publicly traded company aims to be a parasite. The more they can take and the less they can spend is literally how they measure success. That is profit. Respectfully, I think you are incredibly naive if you think AI won't start cropping up in big companies' gaming products, from AAA games to board games to, yes, ttrpgs. Hasbro, who make Dungeons & Dragons, are a publicly traded company, so we can maybe look at their statements on generative AI to see what they have envisioned for the future. Inside of development, we've already been using AI, says Chris Cox, CEO of Hasbro, in reference to Dungeons & Dragons. In the interview where he says that, he goes on to discuss the applications of generative AI in D&D storytelling and products. The D&D team, meanwhile, have put up a different type of statement, saying, "We require artists, writers, and creatives contributing to the D&D TTRPG to refrain from using AI generative tools to create final D&D products." So honestly, I have no idea what D&D are doing, because both of those statements seem to directly contradict each other. Right now, WotC aren't using AI art in their books, and they seem to be going all in on third-party publishing via D&D Beyond to generate their content, which is awesome. We love that. And presumably they are holding those third-party content creators to the same AI standards that they have internally. I don't know, but you gotta assume, surely. But Wizards of the Coast are just one company, and we'll have to see what they do. I'm actually much more worried about the smaller guys. I remember seeing a Kickstarter last year that said for every backer to this campaign, we will add a new magic item. Now, there is no way you can offer that unless you are generating these magic items with generative AI. Ryoko's guide had nearly 30,000 backers. Are you telling me these people were prepared to write nearly 30,000 magic items? No way. It's AI generated sloppy content. It's AI titties in magic item form. That Kickstarter didn't do very well at all, and I don't really want to call specific creators out, but what it did do was occupy space on the platform. They took attention away from other TTRPG creators who might otherwise have made sales. So even when these projects fail because they kind of suck, it is still potentially damaging, not only to the reputation of all Kickstarters and indie development projects, but because they literally take physical space away on the platform from other creators. And now, look, I want to be fair here, because it's hard to make a good TTRPG book, and it's incredibly expensive to launch a Kickstarter. Companies like Loot Tavern have the money to hire wonderful artists and pay them fairly and create some of the most spectacular content in the world. But if this is what the D&D community sees when they hop on Kickstarter, if this is what they expect, then how on earth are smaller companies going to compete? They don't have a six-figure art budget per book. I mean, I spend thousands of dollars a month on art just for my Patreon content, and I'm proud to do it. It's amazing, it looks spectacular, and it's great to work with real artists. But also, it is completely unreasonable to expect a new creator to do the same just to have a shot at making it in this industry. You used to have other options, like stock images. When I started, I used Shutterstock, but Shutterstock is now full of AI trash. The moment I could afford to ditch Shutterstock altogether, I did, because it stopped being a risk that there might accidentally be AI art that snuck into the Patreon content and became basically a certainty. The entire platform is unusable now. So I realized in the edit that I was coming across pretty sanctimonious, so I did want to clarify that I'm talking about companies right now. AI itself is not evil. There are many awesome uses of AI, including helping people with disabilities to create when they wouldn't be able to otherwise, to handing over brain-numbing, horrible tasks that at the moment human beings have to do, that if we can get a machine to do them, we can free up time to do other, more productive and emotionally fulfilling things. AI doesn't have to be a force for bad. The problem is when profit-motivated individuals use it to replace human beings. It's trained on art that these companies stole. They don't have the right to that art, and they're then going to use it to replace the artists that they stole from. It's kind of messed up. But again, this is industry stuff. I'm not saying that you are a monster if you go on Google Images and you see an AI image and you think it's funny and you share it. I don't think that makes you a terrible person. I don't hate the boobs on principle. I just want to make sure that while I have a choice to do so, I support real working people. If you had an idea, maybe for a board game, and you see that Terraforming Mars made $2 million and used AI art, wouldn't you be at least tempted to use AI art instead? Maybe you wouldn't. Maybe you would go humans first and take the financial risk. And that's wicked, but a lot of people will do the AI thing. I'm worried that as more AI slop just rampages across the platforms that we use because it's incredibly quick and easy to create, even the people doing everything right will still get drowned out. Scammers are going to take advantage of AI in the same way they take advantage of every new technology, from political misinformation to fake YouTube videos for ad revenue to, generated TTRPG books. And like every scam, it'll work for a while until people just start ignoring everything anyone creates that isn't from an already established brand. I hope you focus your support on humans that celebrate creativity instead of anti-human AI products, because we're going to be seeing a lot more of them very soon, whether we know it or not. If you want to check out the stuff I make with fellow humans, please swing on by the Patreon. There's free stuff there for a start, and every single supporter is incredibly powerful. I'm about 900 supporters away from being able to donate 100% of all YouTube ad revenue to charity. I donate half right now, and your support goes directly back into this channel and to the human artists and writers who make the amazing D&D expansion content we publish every month. I'm also really interested to hear what you have to say on all of this stuff. Let me know your thoughts on the future of the industry and all that jazz down below. Do you think Wizards of the Coast will start using it in their books, or do you think the blowback from Big B's was so significant that they will steer clear of it forever? Let me know where your head's at. Remember to like and subscribe, check out other videos on the channel, and yeah, that's all I got. I'll see you next time.